Bienvenidos a Rebachol, bienvenidos a Disco Elysium una vez más a todos. Otra vez estamos aquí con las aventuras de nuestros policías, inspectores, King y Harry King, para descubrir el asesinato, desentrañar los misterios del asesinato del ahorcado. Ayer entrevistamos a los chicos de Harvey y a Clancy, Miss Orange, una chica bastante curiosa, por así decirlo. Y bueno, ahora que son las 9 de la noche, vamos a entrevistar con el testigo visual más posible, que era el chico del desván, que es el que hablamos en el primer día, pero se nos escapó. Así que vamos a ver.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
No ha sido fácil de encontrar.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Sí, la señora limpieza no dejó pasar.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Sinceramente me limito a no. Es lo que intento, sí.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Vale, hoy día está más cooperativo. Por cierto, me encantan las vistas, señalar al horizonte de la ciudad.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Especial en cierto sentido, pero no en el bueno.
Wait, suddenly you are digging things?
Sí, lo sé. Tal vez está un poco topado el hombre. Muy bien, hablaré con él, pero antes quiero hablar contigo. Tengo algunas preguntas.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
¿O será tu amigo el que quiere conversar con nosotros?
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
¿Qué estás viendo, Vista?
Besides, I've got to run.
¿Qué?
He's going to leave you alone again. That's something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Pero si acabo de dar contigo.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
Los que tienen que trabajar mañana.
He's right. Only losers go to bed early. Time to break out the booze.
Solo si me prometes que lo haremos luego. Es importante.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
¿Qué pasa? No entiendo.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Vale.
Take care, alright?
Bueno.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
¿Cómo otra vez se va? ¿Cómo es que siempre está fuera, Kim?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery.
No entiendo nada. Bueno, vamos, Kim. No sé qué me están queriendo decir del juego acá, pero bueno. Vamos a interrogar al joven.
Right after you.
No entiendo estas insinuaciones. Bueno. A veces la ignorancia es una virtud. La víctima, el testigo del domingo. Así podremos saber qué pasó. Porque lo de la bala, lo de la víctima, me está sacando de aquí. Yo pensé que yo tenía mi teoría, pero cada vez que indagamos más, parece que regresamos al mismo lugar de siempre, sin pistas. Una revista de negocios trimestral. Un cenicero vacío. Platos empapados en una olla. Voy a ponerme la linterna. No es que no vea, pero sería mejor porque lo vean todos. Y así para quitarme la radio de la cabeza. Panfleto de fiestas clandestinas. Un folleto con fecha de conferencias públicas en una universidad local. ¿Y esto? Gorro cónico samarense. Lógica 1. Necesitamos lógica. Una cama exquisita con un dosel de metal. Es una foto vieja de este apartamento, fechada en el año 1. En el ambiente persiste un aroma de perfume caro de hombre. A ver, ¿qué ropa podremos llevar? Abstracción, lógica. Xavier Fori. Electroquímica no creo. Espíritu Carros. Y creo que estamos ahí bien. Vamos para allá.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur-la-Clé.
Un funcionario del gobierno de la coalición.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Antes de continuar, he de preguntar por este maravilloso dosel.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor.
Oye, el hombre cuida sus apariencias, hay que darle crédito por eso, ¿no?
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Bien, ¿es verdad que presenciaste ese linchamiento?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Esta es la oportunidad que estamos esperando. Desde el principio, si no te importa.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
Muy bien.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening.
¿Cómo así?
I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
¿Quiénes llegaron? ¿Puedes describirlos?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
¿Cuántos eran?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
¿Alguno de ellos era grandote como si pesase 200 kilos?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
¿Qué pasó luego?
I went back inside.
Ajá.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
¿Eran hombres, mujeres?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
¿Estás seguro de que al menos uno de ellos no era una mujer?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
¿Alguna rasgo étnico?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
Mesque. ¿Mañana? No, no mañana. ¿Glenn? ¿Qué pasó después?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
Así que no fue un linchamiento de verdad. ¿Que no pasó nada? Lincharon a un tío.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
¿Por qué no llamaste a la MCR?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
Vale.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
Dejemos las cosas claras. No presenciaste el momento exacto del ahorcamiento, ¿no?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
A ver. Bueno, eso sería todo. Gracias por su tiempo.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
¿Qué hace un funcionario aquí como tú en Martínez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Entonces eres un burócrata.
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability.
Vale,
This
pero
is one of the main projects of the Moralintern.
¿por qué hablas entrecortado? Bueno, ya, vale, pero ¿y qué haces en este apartamento específicamente?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here.
Ah, como se veía en la imagen del mapa anterior, sí.
You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
¿Qué acaso tú has diseñado este edificio? ¿Qué es esta comunidad internacional de la que hablas?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
¿Y qué es la coalición para mí?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
O sea que tú eres un derechista, uno de derecha, centro o izquierda, centro, básicamente. Que ya. Ya he ido a hablar de la Moralintern, pero quiero saber más.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Ok, así que en realidad trabajamos para la Moralintern, no suena mal.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the Moralintern.
Bueno, es cierto, hay cosas peores. Podemos trabajar para Will Paints o podemos trabajar para el sindicato. Eres moralista seguramente.
But of course,
Soy un moralista y eso me hace un moralista a mí.
Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Teniente, ¿tú eres un moralista?
Me? I,
Aquí en esta hora todo el tiempo se ha escaqueado de las preguntas políticas. A ver qué tal responde hasta ver.
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
Bien dicho.
A very moralist answer.
No sabría si es bueno, ya.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Pero ¿qué es un mundo normal y estable?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
No sabría decir de Orange, considerando la pobre chica como ha salido de Orange. Pero bueno, a mí Martínez no me parece ni normal ni estable.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
¿Y qué me dices del resto de Bravachol? ¿Es parte del mundo normal?
Rivachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
O sea, somos como un país, somos como Nicaragua, pero después de la crisis, no es lo que está pasando. O somos ahorita como en Perú, que estamos cambiando de presidente cada año y colocando uno más incompetente, y el Congreso, en vez de ser control político, está simplemente llenándose los bolsillos, aprovechando que el burro está ahí en el poder, básicamente. Están en esa situación de incertidumbre. No creo que yo sea moralista. El moralismo parece increíblemente aburrido. Yo soy un hombre de acción. Los ocupantes extranjeros. La democracia será una fuerza sin sentido mientras la clase trabajadora está... Si cada vez que hablo con la gente elijo la opción de ninguna es moralismo. A ver. Si escojo cada... me voy por la 4. ¿Eso es moralismo?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Sí, todo lo demás es súper extremo. Es como si viviera rodeado de lunáticos.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome.
Bienvenido. Pues ya, pues, ¿qué se le va a hacer?
Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed. An ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are.
No sabría decirte, pues, porque un moralista, por ejemplo, en la época de la Primera Guerra Mundial, donde estaba la anarquía y todo eso, un moralista no hubiera sobrevivido. Tendrías que ser uno del extremo opuesto para sobrevivir. O sea, ¿cómo vas a ser un moralista en donde la época donde tienes que pagar impuestos por todo? No tienes ni para comer y los reyes están ahí chupándose todo. No podría sobrevivir, mucho menos ser un moralista. Supongo que moralista es un lujo de lo que uno puede hacer en la época de paz.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Háblame de Orange. Me ha interesado bastante por la conversación de antes.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
¿Cuál de ellos es más EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Vale, pero fuera del EPIS, ¿qué es Orange?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
¿No podrías decirlo de algo más sencillo para que la gente que está viendo el video?
About what?
Sobre Orange, dime qué clase de estado es.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Pues hay alguien que viene de Orange que no le encanta, no opina lo mismo que tú. Háblame de la Sur-la-Clave.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clay is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Qué amable de su parte.
Oh, yes. Sur-la-Clay is mega benevolent to its darlings.
Con sus colonias.
What is it about this benevolence that makes you break out in sweat and want to run for the hills?
Basta de negocio, hablemos de otra cosa.
Whatever you wish, officer.
¿Qué puede contarme de tu amigo?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
¿Kedra? Kedra es creo que es la primera vez que escucho Kedra. ¿Qué es ese lugar?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
¿Qué
That
quiere
it's
decir?
never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
30 años. ¿Qué es eso del EPIS que tantos mencionas? EPIS, IPIS, lo que sea.
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moralintern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
Es como ese programa para salir de la crisis que creó Estados Unidos y que aplicó Perú en los años 90 con el gobierno de Alberto Fujimori para salir de la inflación, de la superinflación del gobierno de Alan García, en donde lo que hacen es la estrategia de vender todas las empresas nacionales a las extranjeras a beso barato para aumentar las riquezas nacionales. ¿Será eso la EPIS?
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moralintern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Tal vez vaya a sonar un poco socialista por lo que voy a decir, por ese comentario de lo que decía de Perú y esa estrategia impuesta por Alberto Fujimori. Pero ahorita mismo que estamos viviendo una época en donde el precio del barril de petróleo ha aumentado tanto y los transportes internacionales, el costo ha aumentado demasiado, ahora países que han vendido todos sus producción, herramientas de producción, fábricas y todo eso para aumentar su riqueza interna y comprar de afuera mediante tratados de libre comercio, ahora están sufriendo bastante, ya que como no todos dependen de la situación del petróleo, ahora están penando bastante, ya que no pueden producir abonos, no pueden producir sus carros, no pueden producir refrigeradores, televisores, nada. Todo lo compran de fuera ahora. Ni hablar de las vacunas. Pero bueno. Así que, ¿cuál es la siguiente ¿Cuál es el siguiente nivel? Vale, pero ¿qué significa? No, ¿qué idea del siguiente nivel? Vale, dime qué es el siguiente nivel. No, ya, ¿qué significa? A ver, dime, a ver.
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moralintern as a whole.
¿Y las siglas?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
No me estás escuchando, ¿no?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
O sea, estos quieren unir básicamente todo un continente. ¿Va a ser como este lugar?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Revachol podría ser parte del EPIS.
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
¿Acaso no ha dicho que los miembros candidatos nunca se convierten de miembros de pleno derecho?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
A ver. Al final no mucho queda, pero bueno. ¿Cómo hiciste amigos con el sujeto del banco?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
¿Qué me estás contando? Nadie entabla amistad de esa manera.
Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
Aún no te has presentado.
Sorry, who?
Tu amigo, el fumador. Perdón, me refería a él. Estamos hablando de él.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Ya, pero ¿cuál es su verdadero nombre?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Así que todo cuanto puede decirme de él es que está aquí para estudiar artes.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
¿Qué artes?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
¿Y qué haces tú solo en este apartamento?
I'm just enjoying the view.
¿Qué vistas? ¿No te parece una grosería que tu amigo te haya dejado solo?
We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
Me gustaría preguntarte otra cosa.
I'm all ears, officer.
Gracias, eso es todo lo que te necesito.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
¿Y eso por qué? ¿No podemos hablar más adelante?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
No me iré a ninguna parte, quiero examinar el departamento.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
¿Y esto? Bata de seda festiva de dragón. Teatrabilidad electroquímica. ¿What? Me da 2 puntos en teatrabilidad electroquímica. Bueno, electroquímica no sirve para nada, pero... ¿Qué? Oye, ¿qué es esto? Es un... Bueno, a ver. Veamos si podemos sacar algo. Qué extraño, este personaje no tiene ninguna tirada de suerte. ¿En
You have
serio?
acquired the robe. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
The tone somehow suggests to you that you're starting to become a little sponsored by him as well.
A ver. Vamos a hacer unas preguntas rapiditas para ver si podemos sacar algo más.
My friend, I'm just enjoying. Listen,
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
El bebé de alguien está llorando.
no, listen.
Ah,
The Insulindian Bay.
¿qué le pasa?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Estamos hablando de tu amigo.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
Ya, Kedra.
Kedra is a candidate that it's never going to happen.
¿Qué tal el
They
clima? Ya,
enter
háblame de Kedra,
negotiation.
háblame
It's
de
war.
Kedra.
It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra is an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go.
Ya.
I'm all ears, officer.
Sobre el linchamiento.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Dice que la viste, pero no fuiste tú, no. Esta es la oportunidad que estamos esperando.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to...
Officer,
What do you mean?
it was
Yeah,
just so...
man.
I was on the balcony. That's when
Sounds like the victim was unconscious.
Por
Or
I went
después.
back inside.
Yes.
were you able to see anything from...
Officer, the yard... Well, that's... Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all.
Lleva roncicas
There, I'm
extrañas.
afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this?
All I can say... My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight. Give or take.
30 minutos después de medianoche. 12:30. Bueno, ya es algo.
No, I didn't see the corpse until the...
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking.
Of course. Anything I can... Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for.
No, pero igual esto ya es... Bueno, por lo menos tenemos la hora de del incidente. Sin embargo, la hora de la muerte parece que no es lo que esperábamos. ¿Cuándo fue disparado la bala? ¿Cuándo murió el sujeto? ¿Dónde fue la escena del crimen? Y la víctima también. Sobre la víctima no me queda claro por el testimonio de Clesi. Bueno, ya son las 10 de la noche. Tenemos que irnos a dormir. Esta puerta. ¿Puedo usar el maldito mapa? No. Dudo que los chicos de Hardy estén hasta ahora. No, porque no creo que podamos hacerle más preguntas. Lo más seguro que ahorita el juego nos manda a dormir. Y mientras se van a dormir, yo voy a ir a regresar por el cadáver a robar las armaduras. Ya que solamente por eso estamos ahí. No hemos llevado el cuerpo a la morgue. Ahora, ¿qué puedo ver yo del disparo? El disparo puede ser también, como uno de los chicos de Hardy dijo, que el disparo había sido en otra época y que esa bala el hombre la tenía de ese tiempo. No obstante, el orificio, ese orificio por el que metimos nuestro hermano, no era lo mismo. O sea, ay, este chico sigue acá, no tiene casa. Oye, esto.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Atracción.
You have no clue. So many walls.
No, ¿qué será? Ah, la pared de Cindy. Cindy. La verdad es la más extraña, creo, de los personajes, porque no sale nada con ella. A ver. Esperemos que los chicos de Hardy estén ahí para hablarles por esto. Para preguntarles más sobre el linchamiento. El linchamiento que no fue linchamiento. ¿Es eso o ha sido el linchamiento más callado de la historia? Aquí están. Justo a tiempo.
It's you again. What is it?
¿Te gusta mi kimono? He encontrado a alguien que vio el ahorcamiento, un testigo.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just contacti status. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already roll on the others, and is in witness protection.
Mi testigo no es un lugareño.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised.
Vamos a decir que es un alto funcionario del gobierno y ya está.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
El testigo declaró que el ahorcamiento se llevó a cabo muy silenciosamente, sin gritos ni conmoción.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
El testigo declaró que vio 2 personas aeropagitas y un mezqueño.
Aeropagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
El testigo dijo que todo parecía una obra surrealista. Bueno, creo que esta no creo, pero...
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
Pues claro, no significa nada.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
You didn't break this wagon fort, but you did manage to rattle the people inside a bit.
Ya hemos hablado suficiente del testigo.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Okay, maybe it doesn't feel like this did anything to them, but they have to be fretting a little. Everyone is afraid of witnesses. Witness is a scary word.
He escuchado la cinta y voy a comentarla con clase.
Smart boy. You go do that.
Ok. Bueno. Creo que eso sería todo. Señora, ¿sigue usted aquí?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Ah, no, todavía nada. Garte, algo.
Can I help you?
Garte, me he percatado de otra cosilla en el Whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Le digo. Primero quiero hablar con Clash.
Yes.
Nada. Me gusta esto. Este es tu lugar. Claro. Cantaré cuando resuelva este caso. Cantaré y cantaré. Oh, todavía tengo que encontrar esa cinta. La cinta de la iglesia, algo así me dijo. Y luego... Pero primero hablemos con Clashy. Y de ahí ya Kim se va a la cama. Que hasta que se muere de sueño, mi estimado Kim. A ver. ¿Quién más pudo haber sido? El chico de Hardy, la dama del volante. Claire sobre este asesinato no tiene la menor idea. Siento que él solamente está de oportunista nomás de la situación. Como quien dice esto para sacar su tajada o algo así, o tomarla una parte. Como quien, bueno, es la típica del pensamiento del oportunista. Convertir la tragedia en algo bueno. Algunos piensan que eso es ser positivo. Pero bueno, hay cada quien como lo ve. No quiere decir necesariamente que sea algo malo hacer eso, o manipulador.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Titus Harding nos ha proporcionado una grabación donde el difunto manifiesta su intención de cometer una acción mala.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me.
Esta cinta te identifica a ti específicamente como objetivo.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Algo del estilo, sí.
The phrase was used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
En la conversación se menciona Kohoi.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Entonces, ¿qué lo llevó a decir algo así? ¿Su machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his,
Forma de salir
what's the word
adelante.
I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Para los que no sepan, Kohoi es lo que habíamos leído en la conversación pasada, cuando estábamos examinando el audio en la tienda. Es algo así como crímenes de guerra que hacen los que invaden, pues. ¿No tenías miedo?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoi in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Hablemos de nuevo a tu habitación.
Yeah?
¿A dónde lleva esa puerta?
You tell me, officer, when you've kicked it down. I've been wondering myself, but I'm light of foot. Not a good door kicker.
Vale, otras preguntas.
All right.
Pues algo a ti, ¿me puedes contarme algo más sobre la víctima?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
¿Cuántos años tenía?
He was 42.
Vale.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
La tiene.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Mejor no mencionarlo.
The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you.
El lugar, Leslie, ¿dónde se encuentra?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
O sea que ambos vienen de la misma zona, del mismo país.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
¿Eras ambos de Orange?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol,
Ya, electroquímica.
speed, probably also some
Deja de hablar de drogas. Color de ojos.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
Sí, todo un angelito que suena. ¿No se ha escuchado el audio? Bueno.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Qué interesante. Yo también lo acariciaba el pelo.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
¿Quién puso lo de la brillantina? ¿Recuerdas? ¿Eso no fue un punto para mí?
No.
Pero la puse, mira.
Okay, sure. Here you go. What else are we missing, officer?
Yes, un punto. 2, agente, 1, 0, Kim. ¿Tiene un tatuaje? ¿Significa algo?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
¿Te gustaba?
Quite a lot, yes.
¿Sabes lo que significa?
It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
¿Para fardar ante las chicas? ¿Cómo así?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
No sabría decir que era buen cuerpo. Tenía esa panzota como la de mi estimado Harry. Pero bueno, a las mujeres con sus gustos.
Is this Oranese lit?
¿Es literatura orange? Me interrumpieron.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, Saw some bad shit there. Killed some loincloths. And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
Así que los tatuajes marcan sus recorridos de atrocidades, de crímenes de guerra. Y tú en esta ocasión fuiste la mujer impresionada.
Oh, yeah.
Iba a decir la víctima, pero bueno, es lo mismo. ¿Podrías explicarnos su significado exacto?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
No es una historia muy agradable.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
¿Existe la posibilidad que el amor acabase con él?
It very well could be, yes.
¿A qué te refieres?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
Él me lo dijo. El amor acabó con él.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
Vale. Si viene un milagro, se viene un milagro según me ha dicho.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change.
Quiero seguir con esto, porque creo que esta es la única vez en la que Class Jean no me ha sido evasiva o manipuladora.
All right, let's see where this is going.
Me dijo que da algún lugar ante el noroeste.
Cool.
Ella quiere pasar de eso. Hemos solicitado un examen toxicológico, algo que debamos saber de antemano.
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil.
Vale, toda la farmacia encima.
Hear that? Sildenafil. Just like you suspected. You have a great nose for this stuff.
¿Qué es sildenafilo?
It's for maintaining an erection. Uppers are vasoconstrictors, so that feat becomes problematic.
¿Y cómo es que sabemos todo esto?
Because you're a scientist, of course.
How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. See if you...
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Creo que he exprimido toda esta línea del interrogatorio. Devolverle la hoja al teniente.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Vale, eso es todo. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué tienes una idea?
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Sí, dijo ella.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality.
¿A dónde quieres ir, versión
42
espacial?
years old?
Sí, ¿qué pasa?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, ¿cuántos años me echarías a mí?
Huh?
¿Qué edad aparento?
How old? 58.
Vale, King. Quizás te equivoques, ya te ha pasado antes cuando el fiambre era mucho más joven.
He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
Me siento como si yo fuera a comprenderme mucho más tiempo. No, lo segundo, los estragos del alcohol son casi tan extremos. No, la palabra alcohol no. Me siento como si llevara descomponiéndome mucho más tiempo.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
Ah, cierto. Vale, vamos con el segundo. Los estragos del alcohol son casi tan extremos como la mismísima muerte tiene Kitsuragi.
There's silence.
Sí, no debe haber dicho eso.
Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Dale caña, no me asusta la verdad.
To the laboratorium.
Creo que este me puede gustar más. A ver, podemos abrir la
The
puerta.
same small, heavy door.
Forma física. Forma física. Vamos para allá. Y pongámonos la ropita para romper las puertas. Y si con esto no la abro.
The same small, heavy door. No lock
Vamos.
inside.
Oh sí, la abrimos. 1, 2, 3. Bien rota.
This time, something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound,
Oh sí.
Nice.
filling you with a belief in your own body.
Well, sounds like this time the property damage was at least resultive. Would it hurt to look in?
Vamos. King, tú te vas en 10 minutos a dormir. Y yo me tengo que ir a dormir ahorita para despertarme y ir a trabajar. Pero bueno, sí, hemos descubierto una nueva zona. Oh, sí. ¿Podemos dejarlo acá? A ver. ¿Puedo aumentar esto? No me deja. Maldición. Abstracción, retórico, 25, lógica. Voy a eliminar superestrella, ¿eh? Porque me baja uno de lógica. ¿Qué es esto? Hay un pequeño agujero en la pared. Al otro lado se encuentra el dormitorio. ¿Qué?
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
Olvida eso. Creo que desde aquí se ve la habitación de Clashing.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions.
¿Y qué hacían las personas adentro? Vale, pero electroquímica, por favor, no te saltes. Entonces, párate para allá tú, ¿eh? Cálmate.
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural.
Oh, milagro que electroquímica se ha calmado. Veamos las huellas.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Alguien ha estado aquí hace no más de un par de semanas.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer, this isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Por supuesto, investigar más siempre trae buenas nuevas. Al menos que sean pruebas trampas. Para los que hayan jugado Phoenix Wright ya entenderán la referencia. Vale, ¿qué sacamos en claro de esto?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Echemos un vistazo más de cerca.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
Parecen las huellas de una sola persona que iba y venía.
Between that and that.
Estas huellas no se parecen a las de la suela rara.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
Estas no son como las demás huellas que hemos visto en el patio, ¿me equivoco?
No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Una bota, un pesquero.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Un pescador. O sea, no se me ocurre en quién podría más llevar botas en esto. Un trabajador cuerdo. Máquina de pinball. Abrigo fabricante de pinball. Oh, sí. Esta ropa se ve bien. Ahora necesito unos buenos pantalones. Y la gorra. Planos para una máquina de pinball. Temática futurística. Más herramientas de pinball. Ventanas de plástico negro. Se puede ver afuera. Sacamos todo de acá. Y este es el ascensor. Vaya. Así que ha habido un pasadizo secreto con un agujero en la atrás de la pared de la escena del crimen. O creo que es la escena del crimen. ¿De dónde? En esta máquina se llama teoría blanca. En el cristal me muestra la figura de una mujer en luto. Nota, la llave de repuesto está en el arbusto debajo de la máquina en la esquina. La llave de repuesto está en el repuesto de la esquina. Vale. Y yo lo he sacado así, pero así. Abramos la puerta de acá.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Esta puerta conecta con la de arriba, pero ¿cómo podemos hacerlo pasar?
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and out.
Tenemos que ir a buscar por el arbusto.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for it smells of nougat and sweat. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
Mira los controles del ascensor.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
Poner que el último mantenimiento fue en el 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
¿La última vez que repararon este sensor fue en el futuro?
No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century.
Vale, así que no es un mensaje de futuro. Eso quiere decir que no es tan seguro, vaya.
Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
Debía usarse para transportar la máquina de pinball de arriba abajo.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
Vale, usémoslo de una vez. Así que no podemos salir por abajo, tenemos que salir por arriba y darnos toda la vuelta. Aún así, con esta nueva pista del cuarto y el hueco, podremos sacar algo a Clashy. ¿Qué pasa?
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now.
Sí, lógica.
The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Parece que desistieron los de reparar las máquinas.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
Un taller de pinball, ¿eh?
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hearties bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
El Wingland fue el pinball Delta este. Esto es todo lo que queda de ello.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
Claro.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Esto implica que Wilner forma parte de la zona comercial maldita.
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
Pobre Garte. Al inicio me daba cólera, pero me da pena el pobre. Luego del incidente con la trabajadora Sylvie. Pero ahora que lo pienso, todavía está el tema de quién ocultó la ropa en el contenedor. O sea, fue Sylvie. O sea, alguien usó la llave de Sylvie. Oh, se fue. Vale. Creo que ya es muy tarde también ya. Es muy tarde, yo nací, estoy acá. Más pantalla de carga. Pantalla de carga. ¿Qué más nos queda? Oye, ¿y a dónde fue a dormir esa mujer? ¿No está en su cuarto? Ah, vale, bueno. Bajemos. ¿Qué más queda? A ver, luego el día de mañana vamos a estar todo el día solo. Buscando más dinero para vivir en este hotel que me cuesta un ojo de la cara. Bueno. King, creo que eso es todo, ¿eh? O al menos que hagamos una conversación como la que hicimos la otra vez. No creo que íbamos a hacer conversaciones, ¿no? ¿O sí? Él decía que cada noche después de nuestro trabajo había unas conversaciones así. No sé si será verdad o no. A ver. ¿Hay o no hay?
Yes.
Vale, bueno, no hay nada. Regresemos. Creo que hasta acá llegamos. ¿Quién te voy a dejar? Que tengo que ir a robar algo. Tú voy a dormir, que tienes que llevar un muerto a la morgue. Y así yo voy a hacer mis cosillas. Buscar 2 maridos perdidos. Claro. Yo me metí en mi cuarto. Y nos vamos. ¿Puedo teletransportarme? No. Bajemos. Vamos por la armadura. Y lo recogeré la armadura y de ahí lo dejaremos en el episodio de ahí. Los chicos de ahora ya se habrán ido a dormir, supongo. Dudo que van a estar bueno. Considerando que se metieron en unas fiestas. A ver, decía que estaban la llave por un esto, algo así decía que estaba. Ah, en los arbustos ahí se refiere. Los que están en la habitación de Hardy. Porque afuera no hay arbustos. No hay nada de plantas, hay un árbol muerto ahí nomás en el patio. Umbral del oro. ¿Qué más tenemos para intentar con umbral del oro? Ahora que tenemos... Ay, perdón. Ahora que tenemos umbral del oro, podemos intentar mejorar algo. A ver, mañana tenemos que hacer el tema de las firmas también para Claire. Obviamente no se lo voy a hacer. Solamente necesitaba hacer un favor. ¿Y esto? ¿Qué es esto?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Gira la manivela.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
¿Qué tiene que ver un
What
juego?
better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar?
Intentar forzar la tapa.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. If you want to try again, then you need to have the...
Equip the pry bar by go.
La palanca.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top
Wow.
and an electric freezer
Menos
that
20
appears to be
puntos.
frozen
Heroica.
shut.
Wow, estás loco. Habrá que comprar una palanca más fuerte.
The ice squeaks beneath. You see the pry bar's metal. That's a good pry. Sooner or later, you will stumble up.
Se rompió la palanca. No, está bien. Pero necesitamos una palanca mejor, parece, porque 20 puntos ni a patadas vamos a poder abrir eso. Por fin, el cadáver.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's
Intentar
guarding
quitar
over
la
the
sangre de
freezing
la
corpse. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots. You're going to need to summon all your strength. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge.
Tirar de la bota derecha.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid
Tira de la bota
polymer.
izquierda.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two.
Colocar a cadáver en una posición más cómoda.
He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes.
Intentar sacar las botas retorciéndolo una por una.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
Evaluar los daños.
Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Dime algo, fiambre.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
¿Te gusta la nevera?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo.
En la autopsia dijiste que guardabas antiguos secretos, misterios.
Oh yes, Kobo mi lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Sí, pero ¿dónde, colega?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo, come back.
Quisiera hablar contigo. Y eso es todo, gente. Dejaremos el episodio por ahora mientras yo regreso rápidamente a la camita a lavar las botas porque deben oler de la muerte. Nos vemos para la próxima. Muchas gracias por ver. Tuaro Mayuxun por Durarara, empezando la traducción en septiembre. Estoy todavía terminando con la Majoka, que dura 1 hora y cuarto. Es bastante largo. Tenme tiempo, paciencia. Ha habido algunas referencias extra de Majoka que tengo que volver a revisar y ver el anime de la segunda temporada. Y creo que de alguna forma esta especial está conectado con la película. No sé. Me han dicho que un amigo que ha visto la película me dice que tiene algo que ver con esto, con el tema de los niños rescatados, algo así. No sé si será cierto. Y que aparte en la segunda temporada de Majoka hablan sobre una especie de... O sea, hay una especie de enemigo que viene de otra dimensión, que en Majoka existen los que son mundos paralelos. A ver, aquí está.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar. A commercial pot draws your attention. There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. The bottom of the pot fills with... Alright now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Ya, echar agua y ponerlo a servir.
The soap bubbles over the rim of the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil. Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface.
Precioso.
A 2-course dinner of rotten flesh and hardened ceramic.
Pero un poco más.
The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too. Just like beef stew.
Poco más.
That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam dense with the smell of strange meat disappears into the vent above the stove.
Tiremos la carne humana para otro lado y examinar las botas nuevas.
The boots look clean, but still smell funky. Feels like you should have used vinegar too.
Podría abrirlas... Soportar el dolor. Tendría que irse tan temprano, ¿no?
A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
El chef maestro se retira. Las botas nuevas. Autoridad 2. Compostura 1. Compostura.
You look down at the white ceramic sabatons hugging your arches and calves, surprised at how well they fit. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
Vestido con armadura futurista, como debe ir un poli.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just, you really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
Sí, quiero el traje completo.
It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, you should analyze the armor. Figure out its vulnerabilities.
¿Vulnerabilidades?
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design.
Vale.
For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Ya. Bueno, ahora sí me voy. Chau, chau, chau.